Assalamu alaikum. Today we shall discuss philosophy. Philosophy as used by the social researchers. MPhil and PhD scholars, when they come across the concept of philosophy or when they are advised by their teachers and supervisors to understand philosophy and develop their own philosophical position or stand for their own research, then they raise many questions. Two questions are very critical. One is what is philosophy, and the second is why a social researcher needs a philosophy, or what is the role of philosophy in social research. To answer the question, what is it, we shall go through this definition, which is professionally developed and academically established. But before going through this definition, let's begin with a common sense understanding of philosophy. Philosophy actually refers to the logic or sense of something. In our common day life, we have discussions with our family members, with our friends, with our co-workers in the organization, and most of the time, sometimes you listen somebody saying that the idea by Mr. So and so is nonsense. It makes no sense. What he means to say is that it is not practical, it is not concerned with the real world issues and problems, it is rather abstract, it is rather imaginative, therefore no connection with the real world. So, in other sense, they are rejecting the idea. So, philosophy refers to the existence of logic and sense in any piece of knowledge like idea, theory, concept, or the research topic by any social researcher. Second question, why is it needed for a social researcher? I shall begin with point 1, which says that MPhil and PhD degrees refer to Master of Philosophy and Doctor of Philosophy. If philosophy is that much critical in the research process, then the researchers must understand it at every cost. Second, philosophy, logic or sense, it actually runs through the process of research. Topic should be logical, formulation of the project into a research plan, it must be logical, data collection should be logical in the sense that most relevant data should be collected, analysis, all the processes we undertake to process qualitative data, quantitative data, all that must be logical. For example, in statistics, when we are using statistical procedures to answer the research questions, the statistics includes mathematical logic. So it is acceptable by anybody. Likewise, documentation of the research should be logical. It should be presented in a manner which is good or better for the readers. So what is philosophy and why is it used by the social researcher should be clear from this discussion. Now let's go through this definition that philosophy refers to a set of beliefs which work as a logic behind any theory or idea for its acceptance by the community. Now let's move to the zero level question of which research philosophy should be used by the social researcher. In the existing research, there are many philosophies available for the social researchers, and every philosophy comes up with a set of beliefs about research. What are those set of beliefs? Those include a belief about what is knowledge, a belief about in what form the knowledge exists, and third, belief about which particular methodology will be used. So all these philosophies like pragmatic philosophy, realistic philosophy, interpretive and positivism, all these four philosophies and other philosophies, they provide these sets of beliefs to the researcher which work as a logic throughout the research process. Actually, these philosophies discuss the logic. That what is logic? According to pragmatic school of thought, logic means that whatever idea or theory or concept you are presenting, it must show explicitly the practical implications, practical use of the idea, theory, or concept in the favor of the community, for the benefit of the community. So, pragmatic philosophy suggests that whatever is the knowledge, but it must come up with something convincing for the community in terms of its real applications, real world applications, or its conversion into practical activities of life. Second, realistic school of philosophy suggests that the researchers must be realistic. Only realistic pieces of knowledge will be accepted as valid and logical and sensible. And there is no place for abstract or imaginative types of knowledge or theory or idea or any concept. Third school is interpretive. Interpretive school of thought suggests that knowledge is not available in the form of a package and we go there and collect it. Rather, it is something which is constructed by the researchers. It is something which is gradually developed by the human beings, and the logic will be the gradual development, gradual construction of the knowledge. Interpretive school of thought has many similarities with our real world life. For example, humans they enter at nursery and then spend years of learning before reaching the final stage like PhD or postdoc. Interpretive school suggests that this is the way knowledge is collected and knowledge is accepted as knowledge, that it is constructed by the human beings through personal learning and social learning. The fourth philosophy I have selected for presentation is the positivism. Positivism is a scientific and, well developed philosophy, and it provides clear cut answers to the set of questions regarding what is knowledge, what should be the form or in what form knowledge exists and which methodology will be used to capture this knowledge. Positivism provides clear cut answers to these questions or basis for these beliefs. For example, positivism suggests that only that will be accepted as knowledge which can be verified. Second, knowledge will exist in the form of standard terminologies or concepts. For example, media, newspaper, anchor person, they belong to journalism. But political parties, political activism, political apathy, these are the terminologies or concepts which are used or which are the language of political science. Manager, management, planning, organizing, stopping, directing, controlling, all these concepts, these are the standard concepts used in management. So positivism suggests as the second belief in the set of beliefs for philosophy that knowledge exists in the form of standard terminologies. And third, positivism suggests that verified knowledge and use of standardized terminologies is only possible if scientific method is used for data collection, data analysis and the presentation. So that was all about basic understanding of philosophy in the social research. I shall conclude with some explanation about this model. This model says that whatever is your concept, whatever idea you are talking about, whatever theory you are presenting, or in more precise form, whatever topic you have selected for research, it must be supported with logic, with reasoning, and with sense. If it succeeds in providing this, then it is convincing and it will be accepted by the related community. But if the logic, reason, and senses are weak, then it will obviously be rejected. We shall also discuss further aspects of philosophy from practical point of view in our forthcoming videos. Khuda Hafiz for the time being.